Okay, I'm a 2400 US Route 68. I believe this is inside Xenia, Ohio. Doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. Now this is on septic, and so it's going to be a pretty short main lateral, but we'll try to go both directions. You can physically see the interior piping because it is hanging in the crawl space, but we're going to go upstream first, back in there, so we can at least take a look at what what the interior of the pipe looks like, so you can just kind of see that the PVC is still in good shape. But it may go all the way across the basement. Well, I'm sure it does, because it comes across from the crawl space on the opposite side, and it's underneath all that drop ceiling. So we'll go ahead and we're going to go upstream all the way across the interior of the home as far as we can go. And just take a look at the pipe from the inside and make sure that it's in good structural condition. Usually that's what we're looking for, is any structural issues. Sometimes on the exterior you'll find root intrusion, stuff like that, but mainly what we're looking for is any kind of breaks or major bellies, which are like low spots. So anything that might be concerning, basically. And so my camera just turned, which normally it doesn't do that, so that's good. And we'll be able to go up that little branch. This is probably for a toilet. Okay. And then I'll pull back and try to get it to go straight at that Y there if I go fast enough. There we go. And the line's going to reduce a little bit. It comes across and goes towards that rear right bathroom. So you can see all this. This looks like toilet paper and stuff that was stuck in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'm going to go in, and then I'm going to try to get this to run some water through a toilet or something, because it looks like there's some debris just sitting in the line. It's probably the last thing that was in there before the house was closed up. So I'm going to pause the video, go run across and see if we can run some fixtures and flush that out of the line. Okay, so I am running some water through there. I don't know if that flush did anything. We'll try to kind of hit that and see if it breaks loose, to kind of break it up into see what we can do to get that moving along a little bit. See the water hitting the camera in the face, so hopefully that means that we kind of got it loose. It seems to, yeah, I think we did. I think I was able to get that broke loose there. Yep, there it was. So we just do that to make sure that we can get that out of there. And it'll make its way out here to this to the tank. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it around this last turn here. Just made too many turns, and the camera doesn't want to make all those turns. But we've gotten all the way to that back bathroom, we do know that. And everything has looked really, really good. So we'll go ahead and pull back. Obviously we can make sure that water is making its way all the way out of the house. And as we get out here, I'll go ahead and turn and go towards the tank and take a look at that. And then it does have a distribution box, meaning basically distributes the outfall of the tank into some leach lines. And we'll take a look at a couple of those lines, see if we can see anything. A lot of times they're kind of plugged up, but we'll just at least take a look at those leach lines and make sure that they're open. We are back into the clean out here, as you can see. So now we're going to go downstream or with flow to the tank. Check out this portion of the line. Yeah, that's just a little bit of... I think I'm actually in the tank now. Yep, that is where it falls into the tank. Yep. So, looks pretty good. Didn't see anything of any concern. A little bit of water there because of the, obviously, the flow. But the line looks really good. It's all flowing through nice and uniform. And so we'll pause the video again here as we get back up to this. It is kind of funny though that they actually have this clean out backwards. It's got a little sweep on it, and that sweep is going back into the house instead of out towards the tank. Just backwards, it's supposed to go with flow. But either way, it doesn't matter. We were able to go both directions. But we're going to pause the video here. I'm going to make a move over a few feet, and we're going to go into the distribution box and take a look at a couple of these leach lines and just see what kind of shape it's in. The line looked, the tank looked really, looked like it was really low. Normally people ask for a pump to have them pumped out before they move, or before they move in, just as a kind of a starting fresh kind of thing, but it looked pretty low when I was in there. So again, we're going to pause the video and move on over to the little distribution box. Okay, so to kind of show what the distribution box is. Yeah. So it's right here. It's the other little square access, and you can see the liquid overflow coming into it. This is like a secondary line. That's what that turn up is for, so it have to get extra. You'd almost have to saturate the leach lines for it to get high enough to dump into the secondary leach lines, unless that used to be flat. But we're going to see if we can get the camera in there. It's kind of sitting in the way a little bit, but you can see it already dumping into the leach line, so we'll be able to see kind of what these leach lines look like. These are perforated lines. If you've never had a septic before, you can just check out the overall condition of it and try to make sure there's not a bunch of root intrusion and stuff like that that may be hindering the amount of flow. This all looks really good. Obviously you can see the hole, the perforations in there. It's kind of like a French drain basically, just in reverse. But we'll go down. It's probably a few hundred feet of line through here, so we're not going to take a look at every little bit, but plus my battery, because of the cold weather, is starting to go low pretty quickly. But this all looks really good. I don't see there's really not any big trees or anything around here until you get out by the road, so but I'll probably run out of camera length here. Yeah, I'm starting to, I can't get much further, I don't think. It's starting to turn. So we'll go out 100 feet just to take a look at it, make sure this is all open, but got plenty of line here. Yeah, this all looks very, very good. It's all pretty much looks all almost new-like because of how good a shape it's in. So, and with it being sitting empty for so long, these lines have been dry for quite a while. So got a bunch of spider webs on the front of the camera, but you could tell easily if there was any structural issues. So everything looked great. We did like 60 or 70 feet inside the house. Did about 120 feet of leach line, which a lot of times you don't have access to a leach line to be able to inspect them. And the tank level didn't look too high, but the water's making its way through there relatively quick with the way we just run in the shower. And so you may, ask to have the tank pumped just before you take occupancy, just as a fresh start. But it looks to me like the leach lines and the lateral part of it are in really good shape. And so obviously we can't inspect the interior of the tank with this camera. It would have to be, when they do the septic inspections, they usually have them pumped before they can check the integrity of the tank. But it's new enough to where I would just check with the county and see when the last time they did their assessment. But that would be more for testing the water and making sure. I don't know how often they come out. Every county's different. Their regulations are different based off of the area you're in. But overall, the line looked good. I didn't see any defects at all in the line that was inspected, and so not really much to report. Everything looks in good shape. So that's going to end the inspection at 2400 US Route 68 in Xenia, Ohio.